The British press keeps saying Prince Harry has no evidence, but a media lawyer just exposed why that claim is misleading.
He's got to produce evidence, doesn't he, to show that his claims are real.
Well, Richard, just to explain the process yesterday, I mean, he gave very brief evidence in what we call, David Sherborne essentially introduced him, David being his barrister. And then he was cross-examined by Anthony White for the newspaper. So all his job was yesterday was essentially to deal with all Anthony White's questions. Anthony is one of the cleverest barristers at the bar, and in that sense, he was kind of like a goalkeeper. He was trying to make sure that there was no killer question that he couldn't answer. And it's not his job to make his case, as Mr. Justice Nicklin explains. So far as the evidence is concerned, that is in a whole load of documents in the form of ledgers, which David Sherborne and his team say makes Prince Harry's case. But also there will be people who, there's a research team. All three claims against the Mirror, the Sun and Associated are all based on the research of three people. And it's their research which will be the primary evidence which Prince Harry's legal team will use to make the case. And Mr. Justice Nicklin explained to Prince Harry that it's not his job to make his case, although he did it courteously. But that will be the job of David Sherborne and the team, and that will happen later in the case. So it wasn't for him to put forward evidence in the witness box. He was just being cross-examined.
This lawyer is correcting a very common lie pushed by outlets like the Mirror, the Sun and ITV. That's how court proceedings actually work. Witnesses don't bring files to the stand. Evidence is already filed before testimony. Clear, explanatory. Prince Harry's case is built on years of documented research. That's why the case cost nearly 40 million. Not because there's no evidence, but because there's a lot of it. Strong close. The problem isn't Prince Harry. The problem is how the British press explains the case to the public. To really understand what's happening, we need to step away from the headlines and listen to the lawyers. Legal experts see a case proceeding as complex civil litigation should, not a man with no evidence. The idea of a single smoking gun is a myth from TV dramas. Real cases are built on mountains of information gathered over years. In cases of unlawful information gathering, this evidence is critical. When Prince Harry testifies, he provides context and describes the impact on his life. The real evidence is already before the judge, catalogued and submitted. Media focus on Harry's performance is a distraction from the vast body of documentary evidence. What matters is what the disclosed evidence actually shows. Let's look at how a case like this is actually built. The process starts long before the trial, with months or years of preparation. Lawyers for both sides exchange allegations and responses, then enter the crucial disclosure phase. This isn't just paperwork. It's a judge-supervised process where both sides must hand over materials that could help or hurt their case. Teams sift through mountains of files, searching for patterns and incriminating details, like payments to private investigators or emails about phone hacking. By the time the trial begins, the judge and lawyers know the evidence inside out. The trial isn't about revealing new evidence, but presenting and arguing over what's already been found. Witnesses like Prince Harry provide context and are cross-examined, but the foundation is already set. The dramatic surprise witness is a Hollywood myth. When the media claims Harry failed to produce a document, they ignore the hundreds already submitted. They focus on the performance, not the painstaking work behind the scenes. The real case is built in the archives, not on the witness stand. That's the reality of modern litigation. The press's reporting strategy is calculated misdirection. By spotlighting Harry's performance in the witness box, they create a narrative that serves their interests. Moments of uncertainty are exaggerated as proof of a weak case. This turns the trial into a personality contest, sidelining the real legal question: does the documentary evidence show unlawful acts? The public, following headlines, is left thinking Harry's claims are collapsing. This confusion is intentional, allowing newspapers to frame themselves as victims while the real evidence stays in the background. The absence of documents in Harry's hands becomes the story, not the presence of evidence in court. The media isn't lying when they say Harry didn't hold up a document, but it's a misleading truth. The real context is hidden in plain sight. The scale and cost of this case prove it's built on more than feelings. Multi-million-pound legal battles involve top lawyers, forensic experts, and years of work. No credible law firm would pursue such a case without strong evidence. The fact that Harry's claims have survived early legal challenges shows the judiciary sees a real case. Both sides have invested heavily, hiring the best legal minds and combing through thousands of documents. This isn't a frivolous dispute, it's a high-stakes battle over complex evidence. The operation's sheer scale is itself evidence of substance. Headlines may say no proof, but the legal process tells a different story. The case is built on a substantial body of evidence, now being tested in court. That's the reality behind the drama. So why does the media keep pushing the no evidence narrative? Because the newspapers reporting are the same ones accused of wrongdoing. They have a vested interest. They're not just observers, they're participants, shaping the public narrative to protect themselves. By portraying Harry's case as weak, they sway public opinion and shield their industry's reputation. The result? Erosion of trust in the media and the justice system. The real story isn't just about Harry's case, it's about how it's being reported. The media's power to frame the narrative raises tough questions about press responsibility. As we await the verdict, how the story is told may matter as much as the outcome itself.